Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are tying the Just a Pretty Lady streamer. It's a salmon and steelhead streamer. So we're going to start off with some 6/0 thread, and we're going to tie that in just before the eye. We're going to build up that little piece there. There we go. Wind that back. Now this streamer does not go all the way back to the hook point as far as where the body and tail and whatnot starts. I'm going to start right about there, so just about a centimeter or so, half a centimeter before the hook point, and we're going to tie in a tag of French silver tinsel in a medium. There. Make sure that that body part there is built up so we don't run into any problems when we're winding this French tinsel. Now, as you're winding your French tinsel, you always want to double check to make sure that it's winding tight and there is no gaps. Okay, so tie that off. A couple wraps, and we're going to snip it off. Okay, take care of that excess there. Now we will be tying in some bright fluorescent pink floss. And we're going to wind that back. Give it another wind forward. And this is also something you want to double check to make sure everything's okay, because as you know how wonderful floss is to work with when it starts to unravel. Now you can always put a bead of head cement there if you'd like. Right now we're not. Okay, so this is a little different fly where we are going to actually, instead of using natural furs, we're going to use some synthetic furs. So for the tail, we are using some dark pink fake fur, which you can get at any fly tying shop. Okay, I'm just going to pull that back a bit and slice off, not too much, because this is one of those flies where it does have a very large tail. The tail is actually much longer than the wing, which you will see. Okay. And again, we just want to take those little pieces out as much as we can. So you are actually doing this as far as about a hook shank and a half back, grabbing it and then tying it in and making sure that's right on top. And what's great about this right here is the fact that that floss gave it a little bit of a ramp, which will get that body or that tail to stand up nice and upright. So we're just going to tie this off here. Now, if there's any fibers that are coming out that you're not pleased with, you can always trim them out. Again, it's fake fur. They're all blunt ends, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. And just give your fingers a little wet there, and then there we go. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to be tying in some silver holographic tinsel for the body. Okay. And we're going to tie that in the front here, and then winding it back, and we're going to see how the body is looking here as far as being symmetrical. And you can always do some thread wraps to make it where you want it to be. Okay. Now we're going to wind that forward. There we go. Nice tight wraps. This is where you want to give it a double check, making sure none of the thread is showing through. And we want about a hook gap back to finish it. Tie that off. Trim it off. That looks good. Okay, so now we're going to be tying in our wing, which is going to be a short wing of more fake fur, but in a lighter pink. Okay. And just grabbing just a bit of it. Pulling out those fibers at the end. The one thing with fake fur is it does compress very nicely, which you'll find. I have that extending back about, I would say about half of the tail. It's a very, very small short wing. I want to tie that in. There we go. Very sparse wing there. Okay, and now we're going to give it a little collar of some, just some white neck hackle. Just grab a piece, get it prepared. I'm going to tie that in from the tip. Skewer it down. Now you can use schlappen for this or anything, but this will be fine right now. And it'll be about, I'd say about 4 to 5 wraps. One right in front of the other. I'm liking that right there. Just trim it off there. If you catch some barbels, don't worry about it. You can clip them off, and you can also cover them with thread. Okay. Now we're just going to wrap. Nice tight wraps back, making sure that collar is spread back nicely. Couple wraps forward. Okay. Liking that. And to finish this off, we're going to get some jungle cock for the eyes. And I'll show you this little little move I'm going to be doing here. Let's get the eyes ready. It's a very old cape of jungle conch, so it's very, very brittle. Now what you want to do is, I'll show you, you want to slide in the jungle conch in between the hackle fibers, okay? So I'm going to do this side first, and I'll show you how that's going to end up looking. Just want to tie that off here. Just want to set that up, and I just want that jungle conch to be on an angle going up. I'm going to secure that in. Clip this one out. And then get another piece here. And tie in the same angle. It's a very simple steelhead salmon pattern, but this little pretty lady seems to do the trick. Okay. Just want to get that a little bit better. Slide that in between the hackles and tie it off, and just double checking that we got the same angle and amount there. That looks good there. That looks good there. That looks good there. A couple secure wraps before we tie off the excess and finish the head. And now you want to just finish off the head there. Making sure everything's wrapped down nice and tight. Take your time with it. And then, of course, finish it off with the whip finish. And we're going to put some nice UV finish on it. Now, of course, you could use just head cement, but the nice clear UV finish gives it just a much cleaner look. But again, up to you. This is the way I do it. And you can see how some of these jungle conch eyes are actually split. It's just because it's a very old cape that I have. One thing is, you could use some imitation jungle conch. There's some great products out there. Very inexpensive. And there you have it. She is just a pretty lady. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.